Hi fellow language survivors, my name is Bong, and today I am with Japanese tutor and language coach Taka Sensei, and we're about to learn how to survive in Japanese. I recommend you to watch my first video as a reference because we'll be going over all the words and expressions I present there. Alright, so you never know what could happen in life, especially when you travel. You could get in trouble with the Yakuza because you might have been accidentally disrespectful to them. They might toss your body somewhere and leave you out for dead, but you're stronger than that, and you manage to survive because you're a survivor. Now, your body really needs water, so how would you ask for water in Japanese?
The word water in Japanese is mizu, mizu, mizu. But it's so essential for life that you need to respect the water ですね. So you should be in awe when you drink water. So we say o mizu, o mizu, o mizu.
Omizu.
If you want to say water, please, you should ask omizu kudasai. Omizu kudasai. Omizu kudasai.
Omizu kudasai. The second expression is when you can't survive by yourself and you need to ask for help. How would you do that in Japanese?
That would be 助けて. 助けて, 助けて.
助けて.
Though we may not really have time for manners in a life and death situation, but we already learned kudasai. So you could definitely say 助けてください. 助けてください. 助けてください, which means help please.
助けてください. The third word is sorry. This could have saved you a lot of trouble with the Yakuza in the first place. So how would you say that in Japanese?
Different ways to say sorry ですね. But there is one that can be used to say excuse me when you approach a stranger in the street. And also when you want to apologize, it's すみません. すみません, すみません.
すみません.
Now that's the proper phrase, but when you want to say it fast, it sounds like すいません, すいません, すいません.
Number 4 is what's this, what's that, so that you can learn new words in Japanese.
If there are anime lovers watching this video, they probably know 何? Which means what? 何? Now, if you want to say this or that, you can say これ、それ, or あれ. これ何? これ何? これ何?
これ何?
Now, it's always good to know that it's a familiar way to ask, because in case you didn't know, manners and politeness are a very important part of the Japanese culture. So, 何 becomes 何ですか? And you add は after. これは何ですか? これは何ですか? これは何ですか?
これは何ですか? Now, in some situations, like if you arrive in a small town that is not used to strangers, you're probably going to need to introduce yourself. So, how would you say, my name is?
Literally, it's 私の名前は. 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 And then your name. And finish your sentence with です to be polite. 私の名前は上坂隆秀です.
私の名前は Bong です. Small words that should not be underestimated. Yes and no. How would you say yes and no in Japanese?
Okay, so yes is はい. 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 And we use it all the time. Not only to say yes, but let's stay concise. Now we have a word for no that you would probably learn in textbook, which is いいえ. いいえ. But to be honest with you, Japan is not a country where you actually say no directly. And there are different meanings for no. Do you disagree with someone? Do you want to refuse something that is offered to you? We have different words for all these situations in Japanese. In effect, you could use いいえ in most of these situations, but if you go to Japan, you'll see that it's not often used. And that's good to know.
The last expression is thank you, to really show your appreciation to someone who helps you. How would you say that in Japanese?
Thank you is ありがとう. 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 And if you want to challenge yourself and be polite, try ありがとうございます. ありがとうございます. ありがとうございます.
Arigatou gozaimasu, Kamisaka-san, for this very informative video. I hope this is going to help a lot of people who travel to Japan. Namae wa Bong desu, and this was 7 expressions to survive in Japanese.